Sydney Sweeney is one of the most popular actresses in Hollywood right now. Some people see her as one of the most talented young actresses of her generation. Others feel that without her looks, she probably wouldn't be talked about as much. But behind the image of a confident, successful star, there's actually a much more complicated story. Even with all her success, Sydney has often found herself at the center of online debates about her appearance, political controversies, and even her personal life. So how did a regular girl end up in Hollywood? And what's really behind her success? Sydney Sweeney was born on September 12, 1997, in Washington State. She didn't originally plan on becoming an actress, but over time she became interested in film and decided to give acting a shot. Her family even moved to Los Angeles to support her dream. But things didn't take off right away. She went through tons of auditions and got rejected over and over again. Her early work was mostly small TV roles, including a brief appearance in Heroes. After that came more minor projects, like the Netflix series Everything Sucks.
Dagger! I am thy scabbard.
But she still hadn't had her breakout moment. In the same year, Sydney Sweeney landed one of her first leading roles in a feature film, the horror Along Came the Devil. The story follows a young woman who returns to her hometown after a traumatic past, only to face disturbing supernatural events. Sydney played the lead character, Ashley. However, the film didn't make much of an impact. Critics were largely negative, pointing out a weak script and a familiar storyline, while audience reactions were mixed. It never became a notable success either at the box office or with viewers. Her first real step forward came in 2019, when Quentin Tarantino cast her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
The Hawaiian guy seems to be okay. Everybody's talking all friendly.
It was a small role, but in Hollywood, even small roles can open big doors. Her real breakthrough came with Euphoria, where she played Cassie Howard. Cassie quickly became one of the most talked about characters in the show. She's emotional, insecure, and constantly chasing validation, especially in toxic relationships. A lot of viewers saw parts of real life reflected in her story. In Season 2, Sydney got even more screen time, and many people consider it one of her strongest performances.
You okay, Kat?
No! Yes! Fuck it! I am in love with Nate Jacobs and he is in love with me! And you know you fucking give me that look, Maddie, because I didn't fuck your boyfriend. You two were broken up for 3 weeks and 3 days before we even had sex, so I didn't betray you! Plus, you guys are terrible for each other, and you know I'm right, and you guys can all judge me if you want, but I do not care. I have never, ever been happier.
After Euphoria, she wasn't just an up-and-coming actress anymore. She was one of the most talked-about young stars in Hollywood. Next came Anyone But You, alongside Glenn Powell. Critics were mixed, but audiences loved it. Still, the biggest conversation wasn't even the movie. It was their chemistry. Their interviews and press tour sparked rumors that they might actually be dating, which ended up becoming part of the movie's viral success.
Or I might end up in a suitcase. I mean, look at this place. It looks like every serial killer reenactment documentary. Why do you have a giant wrench?
Okay, it wouldn't be a suitcase, it'd be a carry-on, because you're 0 feet tall.
2024 was one of the busiest years of her career. Madame Web underperformed at the box office, but Sydney wasn't really at the center of the criticism since she had a smaller role. Then came Immaculate, where she not only played the lead role, but also made her debut as a producer. The film wasn't a huge box office hit, but it earned strong reviews, especially for her performance. After that, she appeared in Eden with Ana de Armas, which helped solidify her image as an actress capable of more serious, dramatic roles. At that point, her career hit a turning point. She was already a star. But the question became, could she break out of the image she was known for? That question started to get answered in 2025. One of her biggest projects was Christie. For the role, Sydney gained around 15 kilos and completely transformed her appearance. For someone whose image had always been such a big part of her career, it was a bold move. Early set photos surprised people. She looked almost unrecognizable. Even though the film wasn't a commercial hit, it proved something important. She's willing to fully transform herself for serious roles.
Ooh.
After that, she returned to more mainstream work with The Housemaid, a psychological thriller based on a best-selling novel. It follows a young woman working for a wealthy family, where nothing is quite what it seems. Right now, The Housemaid isn't just another film in Sydney Sweeney's career, it's her biggest breakout hit so far. Critics and audiences went completely divided. Some dismissed it as slow and boring, others called it absolutely gripping.
What?
Would you like help packing your things?
Fuck you.
But none of that mattered in the end. The film still exploded at the box office. And with it, Sydney didn't just rise, she cemented herself as one of the most in-demand actresses in Hollywood right now. But here's the thing about that level of fame. The higher you go, the darker it gets. The most well-known controversy involving Sydney Sweeney and her family happened in August 2022, after photos from her mother's 60th birthday surfaced online. The celebration had a country-style theme and a very relaxed family atmosphere. But online attention quickly shifted to a few background details: red baseball caps reading "Make 60 Great Again," and a t-shirt with Blue Lives Matter symbolism. That sparked a wave of discussion and political interpretation, even though the family later said it was just a joke and a themed party with no political meaning. Later, the story picked up even more attention when Donald Trump praised a jeans ad featuring Sydney Sweeney, calling it the hottest ad out there, and also criticized attempts at cancel culture around the actress. At the same time, online rumors started circulating about tension between Sydney Sweeney and Zendaya, mostly based on them not being seen together in promotional photos. However, those rumors were denied, with cast members saying the set and promotional environment was professional and friendly. From 2018, Sydney Sweeney was in a relationship with producer Jonathan Davino. In 2022, the couple got engaged, and it really looked like things were heading toward marriage. But in 2025, Sydney decided to call off the engagement and go a different way, choosing to focus on her career and personal growth. Once again, Sydney Sweeney was right in the middle of it all. From that point on, it became clear that her fame goes far beyond acting. The conversation around her shifted. People started talking less about her performances and more about her appearance. Some argued that's the reason for her success, while others say it's exactly why her talent gets overlooked. After Euphoria, she became more than an actress. She became a cultural figure people constantly debate. Today, Sydney Sweeney is still one of the busiest and most talked about actresses in Hollywood. She's constantly working, and after the third season of Euphoria, her character Cassie Howard really stepped into the spotlight, grabbing a lot of the audience's attention and becoming one of the standout parts of the show. But acting is just one side of what she does. Sydney is also working with major brands and building her own business, including launching a lingerie line. Her career keeps growing, and it doesn't look like she's slowing down anytime soon. And now, only one question remains: what comes next?